On behalf of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation, we thank you for joining us to celebrate the 77th year of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Corps and the 41st anniversary of the Reserve Foundation. Honored guests, please stand for the posting of the colors by the Los Angeles Police Department Honor Guard and our national anthem sung by William Washington and the invocation by Father Jose Bautista.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner that waved o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let us pray. Most gracious God, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude and respect for the brave men and women who serve as reserve police officers in our community. We thank you for their unwavering dedication in protecting and serving others at a great personal risk. Bless our reserve police officers with wisdom and discernment as they make split-second decisions in the line of duty. Grant them courage and strength to face the challenges and dangers they encounter each day. Surround them with your protection and peace as they work to maintain law and order in our society. May they be guided by justice, integrity, and compassion in all their interactions. Help them to be beacons of light and hope in times of darkness and distress, bringing comfort to those in need and upholding the values of righteousness and fairness. Lord, we lift up our reserve police officers to you, asking for your grace and mercy upon them. Give them the discerning heart's compassion, spirit, and steadfast commitment to upholding the principles of truth and justice. We pray for their safety and well-being, and for their families who support them and sacrifice alongside with them, strengthen their bonds and unity, camaraderie, and mutual respect as they work together to make our community a safe and more peaceful place. May your hand be upon them and guide and protect them each step they take. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Our profession is a calling. We come to work each day believing in something more than just ourselves.
Empties en route.
Nobody calls 911 when they're having a good day. They call us when they can't figure things out. They can't solve their own problems. They need our help.
Your heroic actions and the compassion and empathy that you display every day will make a difference in the lives of so many.
One 40, we have a train en route.
Go.
It's the courage that they display in their actions. Officers are out there daily running towards the fight instead of away from the fight. They're doing far more than we expect them to do or ask them to do, and that's true bravery.
Welcome to Los Angeles, ma'am.
I got a history here.
Thank you for your bravery, for your tenacity, for your heart, and your willingness to go above and beyond. You display courage in everything that you do. You face danger, and you do it without hesitation. You make a difference in the lives of so many.
These are true heroes, and they deserve to be acknowledged, and we thank them for their sacrifice.
It's that humbleness that they possess, that day in and day out grind, that makes me proud to be a police officer.
Please welcome to the stage the presidents of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation, Carla Amundsen, and Reserve Police Officer retired, Michael Sellers.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. You know, thank you. You know, the power of that video, the greatness of that video is this, that when you dial 911 in the city of Los Angeles, there's a chance that the police officer who comes to your aid is going to be a reserve officer. And most of the people will never, ever, ever know, right? This indistinguishable professionalism is our success story, but it's also our challenge to tell the story. Now, Carla and I have been doing this for many years, 10 years, and we know that many of you feel unrecognized. We know many of you feel underappreciated in all that you do. But know that tonight, under this roof, there are so many who appreciate you. Chief of Police Dominic Choi is here tonight. Thank you. Dr. Errol Southers, we remember when we were telling you about the gala and you pulled out your cell phone, your calendar, and you said, when is it? You put it in your phone. You said, I'll be there. You're here. And here's something very cool. There it is, 34. For the first time in LAPD's long history, the Department Reserve Coordinator started her career as a reserve officer. Commander Giselle Espinoza. Hi, classmate 593R. Hoorah. Caesar's also here. Could you have imagined 30 years ago we would be here? We were running up that hill in our gas station uniforms, and suddenly, 30 years later, we're here. Folks, it goes without saying that our community honorees are here for you tonight. Lisa Specht, Jim McDonald, thank you. Carla and I want to thank Sergeant Johnny Johnson and his crew for all you do. We are very, very grateful. Thank you, Lieutenant Damian Velasco. And we just want to say that on behalf of our board of directors, your mission tonight, we say your mission tonight, is just to have fun. Now we hope, maybe do, some bidding on some of our things to, to help your brothers and sisters. But have fun tonight and to contemplate all that you've achieved and all that you've accomplished, because you know from your experience that very, very few people can accomplish what you have done. So we thank you for your service. We want you to be safe. And we also want to say that you probably see these little items on your table, these little party favors, and you might be wondering, if you're not with the LAPD or you're not a police officer, what those are. Those are called doorstops. They're kind of handy to have, whether you're with the police department or not. Basically what they do is they allow officers to open up doors, to open up gates, so that their partners, so that backup can come, and first responders like RA units, rescue ambulances, can come and help out. So thank you. And now I want to introduce my great co-president, Carla Amundsen. Take it away, Carla.
This gala takes a lot of planning, and it is well worth the effort. Not only do we get to recognize officers who have shown outstanding commitment to the department and our city, but we get to honor those outside the department as well. As Michael mentioned, they have helped to strengthen the city of Los Angeles. Thank you, Lisa Specht and Jim McDonald, for being here. Mayor Bass has shown a commitment to the department by being thoughtful with the budget and taking the selection of a new chief very seriously. She's been visiting all the divisions and specialized units to garner feedback on the type of person to lead this department next. She is also a breath of fresh air with support of the Reserve Program. Don't take my word for it. Let's listen to her.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to join you virtually to express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the LAPD Reserve police officers gathered at the 2024 Twice a Citizen Gala. Congratulations to tonight's honorees. Your exemplary leadership and dedication to the community sets a high standard for all of us to follow. As we celebrate tonight, remember the importance of unity, collaboration, and service to others. Together, we can continue to build a safer, more vital, and more vibrant Los Angeles for generations to come. Let me thank the LAPD Reserve police officers for your extraordinary dedication, and congratulations to all the honorees tonight. Your service inspires us all.
Before I introduce our host this evening, I must do my annual duty, and I'll try and keep it really short. But as you know, I'm the one that reminds you what you're supposed to do with those envelopes on your table. The shorter answer is just put some money in them. But seriously, this gala is also the opportunity to raise funds for equipment that will help reserve officers be better prepared for emergencies or just make a day-to-day police work easier. We have 2 items that will be the subject of the table raise tonight. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't the department cover the cost of equipment? Generally, yes. But these 2 items are not standard police-issued equipment, and they will make all of our reserve officers the envy of their full-time partners. In a big city like Los Angeles, major problems occur where seconds can make the difference between life and death. One such interest is someone trapped in a vehicle. Tonight, one of the 2 items considered for the table raise is the Eden Life car window breaker. But wait, there's more. This handy device does more than break a car window. It also has a blade to quickly cut the seatbelt for fast extrication of a victim. This portable emergency rescue tool was recommended by a fellow reserve officer who always keeps one while on duty. Have you all ever made a stop and had trouble managing those pesky small items like multiple IDs, FI cards, and perhaps your own department business card? Well, we have the answer to your troubles. This is the item that will make you the envy of full-timers who must still manage all those little items. We want to purchase the Tactical Pocket Clipboard. This handy organizer has a spring channel designed to hold IDs, is made to accommodate FI cards, and a handheld writing surface, and even a secret compartment. We can provide these to our reserve officers if you give generously. Now let's get this party started with the voice you know, 2-time Emmy Award winner for writing, hosting, and producing, Mark Thompson, and making her TAC debut, KTLA's own Wendy Burge. 6-time Emmy Award-winning television journalist, acclaimed professional writer, and inspiring motivational speaker. Welcome to Twice a Citizen.
Have fun, everybody.
Hello. Oh, wait a minute. I have a big bow between us. This will have to be my side.
All right, as you want it.
I'm so glad Michael cleared this up because I thought this was a mouth guard.
It does have a mouth guard look to it. You're right, but no. This is your first time here.
And I am so happy to be emceeing with my very good longtime friend, Mark Thompson, or as many of you know him as, Person of Interest.
I see. I get it. No. I get it. Well, these are my people, yes. Wendy, whether you realize it or not. I'm practically a cop. I mean, I really am. I mean, I've narrated over 200 hours of police shows that have to do with police work.
So you really just feel like you're in the trenches in that
I feel
audio
like the
booth?
X's and O's of police work I'm kind of familiar with. And my other half, who's with me at these events always, Courtney, calls 911 more than anybody else. And we live in a great neighborhood. But she'll come in and she'll go, Mark, there's a van parked out front. It has the engine on.
So she is like the neighborhood watch.
I said, honey, you want to call 911 and tell them there's a van out front with the engine on? I mean, you think they're really going to, this is Los Angeles. There's serious crap going down here. Anyway, it's such an honor to be here. And I must tell you that when I first was invited to MC this, which was a couple of years ago, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I will share my embarrassment with everyone. And you, I didn't know about the reservist program.
Really?
No, I didn't. I mean, you as a news reporter probably were familiar with it.
But it's hard to tell in the field who is a reserve.
Exactly.
Because they blend right in.
I felt like this is a secret that more people need to know
That's
about.
true.
This is an under-heralded group of people, and I'm every year and with every experience that I've had, and now I've gone on with. I did a ride along with Sergeant Johnny Johnson and the crew there, and I was at the Hollywood Division, and I ran the simulator. I have greater appreciation for the lives you have led and now lead at the same time in law enforcement. So it's really an honor to be here.
Well, and I'm very excited to be here. I did wear my blue dress, got the memo. And in honor of you who may be wearing something bulletproof tonight, I'm wearing 2 Spanx. So I will be fully protected, bouncing off what I got going on right here tonight. Thank you, ladies. Ladies know what I'm feeling there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm in for
It's
the
a
evening.
2 Spanx night, everybody. That's what we've learned.
Also, I am very excited because a very good friend of mine is being introduced, and yours as well, Jim. I remember when Jim and I first met. It was a starry night. We met at a clandestine street corner, dimly lit.
Wow.
I mean, there was a murder involved. I'm not going to lie, but we were very early morning hours. You know, as that early morning reporter, you appreciate just how hard
I forgot. You get
we were.
to the crime scene
I'm
before
there.
the sun has even come up.
I am there, baby.
Wow.
I am there.
Look, we joke around, but in all seriousness, and I really am astounded by the work that is done by the reservists and by the group of people who will be honored in this room tonight. And I should just mention something that you're aware of, but again, I think it bears underscoring. You don't get paid for the work you've done.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's both an under-heralded group and an undercompensated group. And so your commitment saves the city of Los Angeles millions of dollars a year. And this is yet another asset that the city has. So
that means that you and I aren't getting paid to date either, correct? In the spirit of things, I think we should. And that's totally okay. I will eat my way through the evening. Okay, so the LAPD, as much as I can, because again, the double Spanx issue.
Yeah.
The LAPD Reserve Corps was founded back in 1947, coincidentally the same year that KTLA was formed. We just celebrated our 75th anniversary, and you guys are as old as our iconic television station
Oh,
is.
that's interesting.
Of course, you worked across town, but, you know.
Yeah.
Still, kindred spirits as well. So 37 years later, the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation came to the existence to help support the Corps that was founded back in 1947. Tonight, we will be recognizing hundreds of reserve officers, not all of them individually, but we will be shouting out to a few of them who work again side by side along the LAPD. And for those reserve officers chosen by their divisions who are honored tonight as Reserve Officers of the Year. Now, we're also going to pay tribute to 2 people who've truly given their time to support the efforts of our city. And that, of course, is community leader Lisa Specht, who we've spoken to, and our Sheriff Jim McDonald. You'll always be the sheriff to me. Sheriff Jim McDonald. Forever in our hearts.
He's my sheriff, too. I agree. Also from the LAPD, a number of command staff are with us tonight. Chief of Police Dominic Choi, Assistant Chief Blake Chow, Assistant Chief Dan Randolph, and Deputy Chief Imada Tingarides. I rehearsed it for an hour, and still I double-clutched.
By the way, I just have to say, I was at an event with Imada just the other week, and Katy Perry was there. She was being honored alongside Katy Perry.
Wow.
Yeah. So tonight's musical guests will be
Imada and Katy Perry. Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton is here, and Deputy Chief Donnie Graham as well. A round of applause for everyone. The Board of Police Commissioners, the President, Dr. Errol Southers, former Police Administrator Gloria Grube, and dozens more commanders, captains, sergeants, and officers from all divisions join us tonight. So, thank you.
a few other notables in the House, so to speak, is LA City Council member John Lee, Deputy Mayor of Los Angeles Brian Williams, not to be confused with the television news anchor, actress Donna Mills. Donna's here! I'm so excited! Are you as excited as I am that Donna Mills is here?
I love Donna Mills.
How
can you not love Donna Mills?
I really love Donna Mills.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have twice assistant honorees, former city council member, LAPD, and reserve officer himself, Dennis Zine. Where are you, Dennis?
Yeah.
Did he drive his motorcycle here? Good to see you, Dennis. Hi there. Former foundation president Mel Kennedy and Ryan Cassidy and Paul Favreau, also board reserve members of the foundation. And let everyone give it a round of applause. Oh, there you go. I could have figured that one out on my own. All right, at this time, a little bit of housekeeping. We'd like to invite all the reserve officers receiving your pins tonight for your years of service, anywhere from 20 years to 55 years. Please check in with the officers in the reception lobby. All reserve officers receiving your pins tonight, please head to the lobby and do that now. So that's now. People should be standing up and moving.
Yeah, well done, but so far the now has not
the
really
now
been.
part wasn't.
Yeah.
And that we have to do that before we begin. So again, she wants me to say this again. Reserve officers winners from the Central Bureau, South Bureau, Valley, and West Bureaus. You need to head to the lobby to check in with the officers as well. And again, that's now. So South, Central, West, and Valley Bureaus, please head to the lobby. Few people moving. I think
no, people are
the
moving.
message
It's okay.
received.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Don't panic.
Well,
Everybody's.
you know, it was. I had a job. It was right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought you did it well,
Thank you
and
very
people
much.
are moving.
All right, there we
It's
go.
now my distinct honor to introduce our co-host for the evening.
Wait a minute. I thought I was your co-host.
Well, you are. This is my co-host, 29-year veteran of the
29.
LAPD, rose through the ranks from police officer to assistant chief. Now he holds the top spot. On March 1st, he was appointed by Mayor Karen Bass to serve as the 58th Chief of Police for Los Angeles. He oversees the most innovative law enforcement agency in the world and the third largest police force. He takes personal pride in being here to recognize and thank the hundreds of reserve police officers in our city and is here to present the Reserve Officer of the Year awards to them. Please welcome Chief of Police Dominic Choi.
Choi.
All right. You know what I love about tonight is that it's such a formal event, but yet it feels so informal because it feels like we know everybody and we're friends and family. So really appreciate the environment that you guys have created for us. So thank you. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a incredible event we have here tonight. First, I'd just like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation for their support and generosity of sponsoring tonight's event. I'd also like to acknowledge the event coordinator, Cher Lilico, and the Proper Image Events team, including Carla Amundsen, Joan Ford, Michael Sellers, for their invaluable contributions to making this evening possible. Also, Sandy Jones and Gloria Groovy for their wonderful centerpieces. And of course, a big thank you to our own reserve unit and public engagement section, led by our own Commander Giselle Espinosa, Lieutenant Damian Velasco, Sergeant Johnny Johnson, along with Officers Johnny Gill, Roisin Rosenblum, Belinda Casada, and Ruben Vargas for their efforts in ensuring tonight's event is nothing short of spectacular. I think you guys accomplished that, so thank you. So now, tonight, we are here to pay tribute to our Los Angeles Police Reserve officers. It's an honor and a privilege to stand here before such a dedicated group of individuals whose unwavering commitment to service truly embodies the spirit of the Los Angeles Police Department. I know they were all asked to step out. I didn't get that in my speech, but can we give them all a round of applause? Okay, and as I reflect on the history of the Reserve program, I'm reminded by the remarkable legacy that each of you carries forward. So when LAPD officers were called into service during World War II, it was those like you, the community members, who responded to the call of duty, stepping up and filling the gap of our officers to ensure the safety of our communities. Today, at a time when our resources are stretched thin and we're continually asked to do more, each of you, each of our reserve officers, you step up and you fill that gap. And you carry on that tradition of selfless service and dedication. You continue to play a vital role in upholding the values of integrity, professionalism, and dedication that define the Los Angeles Police Department. And I thank you all for that. So currently we have approximately 443 Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3 Reserve officers who collectively contribute over 46,000 hours of service annually. And again, they don't get paid, so thank you. Your commitment not only saves the city money, but also provides invaluable support to our full-time officers, ensuring the safety and security of our neighborhoods. And tonight, as we celebrate you, the reserve officers who go above and beyond the call of duty every day, I'm reminded of the profound impact that each of you has on our community. Your willingness to serve selflessly without expectation of reward or recognition is a true testament of your character and dedication for the greater good. All right, so now I'm also honored to recognize two exceptional individuals here with us tonight, Lisa Specht and Sheriff Jim McDonald. Lisa's remarkable leadership and dedication to social justice and educational equity have left an indelible mark on our communities. While Sheriff McDonald's distinguished career, I should say Sheriff and Chief McDonald while Sheriff and Chiefs McDonald's distinguished career in public safety has inspired countless individuals to pursue excellence in their own lives. Thank you for being the role model for all our communities. Finally, why we're here, I want to express my gratitude. That was too soon. Finally, I want to express my gratitude to our command staff and everyone else here tonight who supports and appreciates the work of our reserve officers. Your unwavering encouragement and backing mean the world to all of us, and we are truly grateful for your continued support. And in closing, and why we're here tonight, to all of our reserve officers, thank you for your unwavering dedication and commitment to making our city safe and our community stronger. Thank you all for your service. You are truly twice the citizen. Thank you.
Just terrific, right? Thank you, Chief. And now, as you can see, he's been joined on the stage by, I think this is one of the coolest names of an officer, Officer Johnny Gill. That just sounds great, right? You know, Officer Johnny Gill on the side. He's on the stage. They will be presenting the service pins. Several of the reserve officers and volunteers in the audience have now reached a significant milestone in their career for serving the city for over 20 years. And the chief would like to present a pin to them for their special service recognition. And now to my friend Mark.
First up, those receiving a 20-year, I can't go until the thing says
That's
go.
right, that's right. I was just...
So you really put me on the spot with
did.
now to my friend Mark.
I did.
You know there's nothing there.
Well, I was just ad-libbing there, and that was a bad ad-lib, but yes. We could have talked about, you know, what we were talking about earlier.
First up, those receiving a 20-year service pin.
Yep.
Edgar Cruz.
Ah!
Hey. And a 25-year pin, Douglas Willens.
Oh, keep going.
Oh, sorry. And for 30 years, their 30-year pins, Ronnie Hadar, Allison Kay, J.T. Alpa, Cesar Torrentes, Orlando Livingston. "30 years. "30 years, Wendy.
It's pretty exciting.
Were you doing
just a baby at 30 years ago.
just
It's
checking
amazing.
here. Didn't want
Just
to.
an infant.
Didn't want to ask,
No,
and still
no,
wanted to
no.
ask, and I didn't really know.
No, that's
All right.
true. I just like watching people get pinned.
Well, this is the right event
No,
for you
no,
then.
I'm in the
Yeah.
right. I'm in good company here. Okay, are we ready? Next, for 35 years of service, here we go. We've got two of them, Mike Patriquin and Pete from Sagan. That's a long time. There you go. Ah, Jim's coming up for this one. Really?
Wow.
Do you guys still have some moves you could show on stage? That'd be fun. That's terrific. All right. We're inching up there. Are you ready? Recognition for 40 years of dedication. 40 years. Garth Pillsbury, Herberto Chang, and Todd Silver. 40 years.
Bravo, guys. Bravo. Bravo. Think about how the city has changed in 40 years. That's remarkable, remarkable.
That's nice. All right, ready now? We're moving on up. 45 years, Stephen Whitelaw. His name's got law in it. I mean, he was destined to be in the police force. I would love to see all their cadet pictures. Maybe one year we could put their cadet pictures up there. All right, and now we're moving up to 55 years. The recipient of the 55-year service pin will not only receive a pin, but they can be pinned with that really, really large police badge over there as well. That's what I was told, at least. Serving for 55 years, Ronald Batesole. Ronald. Where's Ronald? I think, let's stand up for Ronald. Let's do that. Come on. Great job. Congratulations, Ronald. That's tremendous. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your service. And now, I hope that we have all of the Division Reserve Officers of the Year for South Central Valley and West Bureau. They should be backstage. Oh yes, I'm seeing a lot of hello, hello, hello. They're all backstage now, so I think we're ready to go.
So we do. Tonight we honor the Reserve Police Officers of the Year chosen by their division command staff. We call them Twice a Citizen, as most of them have two jobs, one in the regular world, as you're aware, and one in law enforcement. They're going to be announced by Bureau, and if you hear us say RPO1 or RPO3, that stands for Reserve Police Officer and the level they have attained. Level 1 being equal to a full-time LAPD officer. At the end of the program tonight, we will honor one of these Reserve Police Officers as the Reserve Officer of the Year for 2023, which the Foundation has tried to keep as a surprise, so please, no one leave. We'll start with Central Bureau. Wendy, you'll get us kicked off.
Okay, here we go. My pleasure. First, from Central Bureau, a graduate of the class of 593, Officer Terrientes, I practice that, Terrientes, has been at Rampart for 30 years. Now, there is not a Rampart assignment that has not benefited from his dedication, from detectives to community relations, and if those areas don't keep him busy, he also provides high visibility patrol to protect the community and utilizes the 311 app to report graffiti and other quality of life issues in the division. 30 years in one division. There you go. I may have had more things to say about our friend. But next, we're going to go to the next one. Okay, there we go. This one here. Yeah, one back here.
I'm sorry. So
stand by, stand by, stand by. I'm going to start right here.
All right.
All right. Starting as a volunteer in 1981, then becoming a reserve officer with Class 1085R, Officer Catherine Euler has provided 38 years of support to the Northeast area. She has been assisted in almost every assignment at the division, from community relations to detective task force. Currently assigned to the gang enforcement detail, Officer Euler is known as tenacious and takes initiative, working far more than the minimum number of hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Catherine Euler. He may have a degree in software engineering, but there is nothing soft about Officer Tim Weidman. I liked how see what they did there.
Yeah.
That was nice. At Central Division, he is known as dependable, tenacious, and he takes initiative, whether working patrol, skirmish lines, events like Special Olympics, and National Night Out, or if he's out coordinating monthly mandatory reserve meetings. Officer Weidman works well above the minimum number of hours by finding more work to do throughout the area. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Tim Weidman. And then sometimes it takes decades for someone to find their true love, as was the case for Officer John Lope from Newton Division. Now, starting a 50-year law enforcement career in Vacaville, retiring in 2020 as the elected sheriff/coroner in Siskiyou County, California, John finally found the LAPD Reserve Corps. At Newton, he inspires his peers by working weekly and has been able to reduce detective backlogged cases. And let's not forget the not one, not two, but 3 Bronze Stars he received as serving in our nation's military. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer John Lope. You know what? I think I may have just called him Loopy because perhaps I'm a little loopy.
No, I just
it's really Loopy.
What strikes me as we read about all these people, and it's certainly true in John's case, is the rich lives they have, independent of being with cops, and then as cops. And he's sheriff and coroner. He served at. Did you hear that? I mean, it's just like, you talk about a conversation starter.
He keeps them alive and also knows what to do when they're dead.
Yeah,
so that's really very versatile.
Very good point. There's so many great histories in this room. It's terrific.
All right. And how does he work so many hours, I ask you? We're talking about Officer Britt Hasty. He is the Reserve of the Year for Hollenbeck, but he's also, get this, a professor of economics and finance at UCLA and LA City College, where he is the chair of business administration. He also has written a book called Personal Finance for Musicians. All of that, and he still finds time to support Patrol, Violent Crime Task Force, and he's the Business Corridor Theft Task Force Supervisor. A lifelong learner, clearly, he's also a member of the Rifle and the Slug Shotgun Cadres. Now that sounds like a fun thing to do on the weekends. So there you go. That is Officer Britt Hasty. And now, Officer Hasty, please remain right there where you are to accept the Reserve Officer of the Year for the Central Bureau. Congratulations.
He wrote a book called Personal Finance for Musicians. In addition to all of his police work, what a remarkable cross-section of work these people on stage do. How about a round of applause one more time?
Right. Do you think many people have said, let's not be hasty to Officer Hasty?
Oh, there you go.
Probably.
Yeah. Not people who want to see Officer Hasty again, I haven't said.
Some good photo ops we're getting here. Congratulations, everyone. That's just terrific.
We have a single recipient in the South Bureau. Gentle breezes, clear skies, ocean views are not enjoyed by Harbor Division's Officer Frank Camello. There is no time when he's a fixture in the division, working a myriad of events, patrol, consistently demonstrating his steadfast devotion to fostering positive relationships within the community. Camello epitomizes the qualities of leadership, commitment to service, and dedication to the community, hallmarks of the LAPD. And Officer Camello, in addition to Harbor's recognition, you also take home the honors for South Bureau. So congratulations. And now in the San Fernando Valley Bureau. Sometimes it is not 1 year that merits Reserve Officer of the Year, but the accumulation of deeds that makes the person and officer remarkable. That is certainly the case for Topanga Division's Chaplain J. Martin Furtak. After retiring from banking in 2015, Furtak volunteered at Topanga. And 2 years later, he went through the department's chaplain cadre. Today, he continues to provide comfort to LAPD personnel in addition to numerous other charitable acts throughout the city of Los Angeles. Chaplain J. Martin Furtak. And this year we have two honorees from Topanga. Ronnie Hadar has been a reserve officer for over 30 years while keeping his day job as an award-winning film and television producer. After 13 years with air support, several other assignments, 8 years with West Valley Patrol, and now Topanga for 6 years, he's the Assistant Terrorism Liaison Officer for Operations Valley's Bureau. Hadar works with special details and assignments. He follows up with detectives, extra patrols in high crime areas, and is a uniformed presence during search warrant service. Reserve Officer Hadar's commitment to service and integrity has earned him this recognition tonight. And by the way, Ronnie, if it's Hadar, I want to apologize for saying Hadar. It's Hadar? Okay, good, good. Thank you very much. For some, it is a career. For others, it's a calling. Such is the case with Officer David Ham. In 2018, he retired from the LAPD as a senior lead officer, immediately, though, becoming a reserve officer. At West Valley, Ham works with numerous events to ensure patrol officers are not needed for those responsibilities, and he's appreciated for his teamwork, his positive work ethic, reliability, and outstanding commitment to the community that he serves. The number of hours dedicated is described by others as countless. Congratulations, sir, and thank you. The Valley is like the Hotel California, they say. You can check out, but you can never leave. Officer Edgar Cruz retired as a full-timer in Van Nuys after being a field training officer, working vice and gangs, and as an acting senior lead officer. Like Ham before him, Cruz immediately became a reserve and participates in numerous functions in Van Nuys. The station continues to rely on his abilities and reliability and can always be counted on. How about it for Officer Edgar Cruz? So, you know, the recommendations are written, and in this recommendation it was written, that is to say, by members of the division. The role of reserve police officer is often overlooked. It is difficult, though, to overlook the consistent impact and dedication of Officer Christoph at Devonshire. A graduate of Class 1083, Gary has represented his division from the 1984 Olympics to working weekly with the Devonshire's volunteer surveillance team. And in that time, Officer Christoph received 2 meritorious unit citations. Officer Christoph dedicates his hard work and commitment to the memory of his friend, Officer Paul Verna, who was killed in the line of duty in June of 1983 while Gary was still completing the academy. How about it for a dedicated officer? Officer Christoph, if you would please remain on the stage. You have also been chosen to receive the Reserve Officer of the Year honors for Valley Bureau. Now, Mike.
Well, Mark, while they get that photo up, I just wanted to say I backed off to give you a little bit of space, but while I was standing back there, I was able to give a hug to everyone who came on stage. So if you want to assume that role, I don't know how excited they would be.
Not a big hugger.
Well, hug a cop. It's really good for you.
You're right. Might be okay. I don't know if all the cops are going to want the hug, though.
They seem
I'll
to
take
really...
a meeting on it for next year, maybe. All right.
They seem to enjoy it when I gave them one. All right. Now to the West Bureau. Are we ready? Perhaps it was playing a police officer and even a sergeant in TV and films that inspired Officer Garth Pillsbury to become a reserve officer some 40 years ago. Or maybe he just likes to stay busy. We're not sure. But at Hollywood, his only division of assignment, he did just that by working the desk, assisting night watch detectives by delivering subpoenas, performing follow-ups on burglaries in addition to various tasks and other forces. He even assisted with the Hollywood Cadet Unit. Officer Pillsbury, congratulations on 40 years of service and tonight's honor. Pillsbury recently retired from the Corps, and his productivity will so be missed. Pretty terrific. Come on.
She can still give out her hugs. Yeah.
Anybody want to hire an actor, I'll give you my number.
Oh, I love him. Nah. All right.
You're in the right town. There are no actors here.
No actors here. All right, now from 40 years to 4 years, Wilshire's divisions, Max Minetti, started his career with the LAPD in 2024 as a full-timer, but he chose to enter USC's Gould School of Law just shortly after that. But Max transitioned to the reserve program, and he continued to be a very productive officer while in law school by assisting with special events, backfiling patrol, and assisting with the short-staff burglary table. There's a table that sits around. You guys talk about burglaries. I'll have to get some more information on that one. I'm very confused with that terminology, but I'm sitting next to the assistant chief, so he's got like a decoder ring for LAPD. You'll help me understand that in a moment. All right. Unfortunately, he cannot be here with us tonight because he is studying for finals. So we wish him the best, and we'll just accept his honor on his behalf. All right, up next, no stranger to this stage is West Los Angeles' Officer Eileen Lomas, as she was one of the Reserve Officers of the Year just a few years ago. She again is being honored for her continued dedication to the West LA detectives by carrying a full caseload from start to finish. We all know the minimum number of hours a reservist must work in every department period and every deployment period, which Lomas easily surpasses by working 40 hours a week. And they don't get paid for this, right? Just a reminder?
No, they do not get paid.
Wow, that's crazy. And admirable all at the same time. She is an unbelievable investigator by any measure. Please welcome again to our stage, Officer Eileen Lomas. Level 1 Officer Brian Clark may have chosen Pacific Division to grind through his P1 book after graduating in 2022, but he is too busy to soak in the sunny Southern California beach rays. Boy, they really don't like these people to get outside much in the sun. That's the second time we mentioned that. Clark generally works patrol, but also participates in the LAPD Pacific Area Boosters annual events out like National Nights Out and the Carnival. And when reserves are needed at the LA Auto Show, he's volunteering also for things like Special Olympics and other details. Brian will be there. Thank you, Brian. And this summer, all eyes will be on Paris for the 2024 Olympics, but right now, ours are on Olympic Division's Ben Pack. In addition to his role supporting patrol, Vice and Community Relations Office, Pack coordinated the first all-reserve facilitated Citizens Academy. During that 10-week course, Pack took an authorized LAPD delegation to Korea as part of a cultural exchange. He did this again going to Colombia a few months later. And while in Korea, he stayed engaged in the Citizens Academy, ensuring that no details were ever missed. Officer Pack has led the collaborative LAPD efforts to address Asian hate crime, and he created curriculum to outreach various stakeholder communities. Officer Pack, please stay right where you are, because also a second honor tonight, you are the Reserve Officer of the Year for the West Bureau.
Our gratitude to all of you for serving the LAPD in our city for these many years. We thank you for your service.
Our next segment, by the way, is it a segment? Yeah, it is a segment. I do feel like we're in a talk show here. Our next segment, after that commercial break, as we're back, is the Twice a Citizen Award. Now, each year the foundation chooses outstanding individuals who, beyond their own career achievements, have contributed greatly to the community, and they are outstanding role models of their own as well. They have generally supported law enforcement.
So to present the first award tonight, we welcome to the stage a lawyer, business executive, and the former United States ambassador to Germany. In 2017, he was the recipient of both the CIA Medal and the United States Navy Distinguished Public Service Award. I thought I was the only one who had those two awards. But somebody else has the CIA Medal and the United States Navy Distinguished Public Service Award. And I might add, that is the highest civilian honor. Please welcome the current Vice Chairman of the Capital Group International. He is the incomparable John Emerson.
Wonderful.
Thanks very much. Good evening, everybody. So, hey, by the way, how great are these two, huh? Big round of applause for them. And I want whatever that auctioneer takes, because that was pretty unbelievable. Pretty amazing energy there. It is a great night. It's a wonderful to be here with the LAPD Reserve Police Officers Foundation and have the chance to honor two extraordinary Los Angelinos. And I first want to congratulate our wonderful former sheriff, an impactful and gifted public servant, Jim McDonnell. And it's great to be with you again, sir. But my great honor tonight is to be able to introduce you to my dear friend, the incomparable Lisa Specht. Right over here. Now, Lisa's bio begins by stating she has over 30 years of leadership experience in women's rights, social justice, and education equity, and that she has substantial involvement in the governance of Los Angeles civics institutions. I have to say, that is such an understatement. Let me tell you about Lisa and the groundbreaking civic leader that she is. First of all, Lisa Specht is totally self-made, putting herself through school, interning in public law offices, by grit and wit, earning herself a position in one of LA's top law firms, and ultimately becoming one of the first female partners of any major law firm in Los Angeles. Lisa, yeah, you can clap for that. Lisa is entrepreneurial. Now, y'all getting sick of watching all those lawyers analyzing the Trump trial in New York? Yeah. Well, you can thank Lisa for that. She basically invented the role, convincing first KABC and then KNBC to create a role of legal reporter for her. Lisa reported on legal issues, even anchored the local news, and co-hosted the NBC show Trial Watch, all while she was practicing law and ultimately serving on the management committee of the Manat Phelps law firm. She is an executive. Serving as chair of the Los Angeles Music Center for 6 years, she not only led one of the great performing arts centers on the planet, encompassing its world-class resident companies, as well as dance and free community programming, but she led the fundraising and overseeing of the renovation of the Music Center's plaza, transforming it from what essentially was a roof above a parking lot into a vibrant, lively center of arts-related activities in Los Angeles. And given Lisa's vibrant and dynamic personality, it is so appropriate that visitors to the plaza are greeted at the Lisa Specht Welcome Center. Lisa is a mentor to young people who are hoping to move into law, journalism, or public service, a mentor to women seeking to realize their full potential in whatever field of endeavor they choose, a mentor to leaders in government, local, state, and federal, who seek her out for her advice and guidance. I know, she mentored me too, when I just started at the law firm and she was my Parrott associate. And by the way, we had a lot of fun in those days, but that's for another kind of toast. Throughout my career, one of my favorite days is a day when I see on my calendar a breakfast, a lunch, or a dinner with Lisa Specht. Finally, Lisa is a citizen, in the fullest sense of the word. She has served on numerous governmental boards and commissions. She and her beloved husband, Ron Rogers, gave of time, treasure, and invaluable leadership, helping to serve the men and women who put their lives on the line every single day simply to keep the rest of us in this community safe from harm. But a full measure of Lisa's life as a citizen cannot be taken without considering the depth of her humanity. Lisa deeply cares about people, about her community. You can see it in her lively eyes, the lilt in her voice, that unforgettable laugh. You see it in the way she greets you as if you are the most important person in the world. And you see it in the passion with which she shares her work for Empower Her Network, an organization devoted to eliminating the scourge of human trafficking and to helping women and girls who are trapped in that world to slip their bonds and live full and fruitful lives. Thank you, Lisa, for all you have done, for all you continue to do and will do in the months and years ahead to better our community. You truly reflect the ideals of Twice a Citizen. But before you come up, we have a video to show you. And so you can sit down. Well, just sit right there. Anyway, cue the video.
Lisa is a no-nonsense person with a great sense of humor.
And she is a force of nature. When you meet Lisa, look out.
You were a trailblazer, Lisa. Undaunted, viewing the challenges you faced as opportunities for you to grow and excel.
She is can-do, gets stuff done, does not let barriers stand in the way.
She has been a consequential leader in the Los Angeles civic community, as well as the legal community.
I've learned so much from her. I've really learned how to make a difference because of her example of what a difference she's made here in Los Angeles.
You know how to motivate people, collaborate with colleagues, build alliances, and quite simply, get things done.
Well, she was a very accomplished lawyer at the Manette Law Firm, a partner. She was the head of the Music Center. She was a leader in the Women's Law Center. She now is involved in a really remarkable program helping women in need.
Most everything she does relates to how to make this a better community, a better society, a better city, a better county, a better state.
The Music Center would not be what it is today without Lisa's work for over a decade.
And in fact, part of the new plaza is the Lisa Specht Welcome Center. And so at root, she really wants to make people feel welcome.
She knows the LAPD well from the work that Ron did over the years. And I know that that's why this award means so much to her.
She loves the organization, she loves the reserve officers, she loves the mission they're on, and she has devoted a lot of her political and other kind of capital towards this organization.
Lisa, congratulations on receiving this well-deserved award.
Lisa, you are truly an inspirational recipient.
This is such a great honor, and I couldn't be more thrilled for you.
Congratulations, Lisa, an honor well-deserved.
So I want to congratulate you, Lisa. You deserve a lot of awards, not least of which is this one, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
First, you get to receive an award.
Well, I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm a little embarrassed by all of the accolades. Frankly, people are talking about someone I don't know very well. But I thank them for their wonderful words. It's truly an honor for me to be here tonight. You heard a little bit about me from John. I have had the privilege of serving our city and giving back through volunteerism in a number of different forms. I was born in Los Angeles, and I'm a proud Angelino. And I think a huge measure of what makes Los Angeles a world-class city and a place that people are proud to call home is the degree to which its citizens are inspired and willing to give back to their community. I applaud the LAPD Foundation LAPD Reserve Foundation for its work cultivating and supporting citizen volunteers, assisting our Los Angeles Police Department in some of the more challenging and important work the city has to offer. The men and women of the LAPD Reserve Corps exemplify the highest ideals of service and sacrifice. Being an LAPD Reserve officer, by the way, is not for the faint of heart. Not everyone can do this job. Police officers work in a mentally, physically, emotionally demanding field, and being a good reserve officer takes training, skill, courage, and confidence in your fellow officers. There is a high bar to even qualify for this position. The men and women of the Reserve Corps must complete the exact same academy training and screening that career LAPD officers do. They must demonstrate the right temperament and a firm belief in duty, honor, and sacrifice. I actually did some research on what it takes to be a successful police officer, so I learned something from this, putting together these remarks. I learned a lot, actually. According to experts in law enforcement, here are the few of the qualities you need. First, good communication skills are a must. Officers have to be able to deliver clear, accurate information to citizens at public events and to other members of law enforcement. Officers must respect and understand people from different walks of life, people of different backgrounds, opinions, cultures, and beliefs, and carry out their work with empathy and compassion. At the same time, they must be able to work under intense pressure and remain calm and patient, and often this is occurring in stressful situations. I think it's interesting that some say kindness is the most important quality of all, because every encounter with the public gives you guys and women the opportunity to win the support of the community. Developing community support is a great area for our reserve officers. They bring a lot because they experience life both as citizens and as police officers. They come from all walks of life and represent almost every profession. A reserve officer's day job may be as a teacher, a banker, or a healthcare executive, part of the entertainment industry, a dry cleaner, or, in one case, even a retired LAPD officer who is now continuing to serve as a reserve officer. Reserve officers bring these unique perspectives both to the communities they serve and their LAPD counterparts. At the same time, they bring the experience they glean from volunteer police work directly back to their homes and communities. So this really is a two-way street, and the reason our reserve officers are twice a citizen. And to all the reserve officers here tonight, I've always admired people who use their talents to serve the community as you do. Your lives of service and sacrifice, taking time away from your families and loved ones, are expressions of your commitment to serve the city of Los Angeles. Sometimes you may feel as if your hard work goes unnoticed, but it doesn't, and it is essential to the functioning of our city. I hope you all understand why this is such a special honor for me, to be honored in the company of fellow citizens who are giving so much to the city we call home. You men and women of the LAPD Reserve are helping to create the city that we all want to live in. We owe you a debt of gratitude, and believe me, I am thrilled to have this opportunity to express my gratitude for your service. Thank you. I just have to do one thing. I kind of got up here and started talking, not like me at all, but I didn't get a chance to thank my dear friend, John Emerson. First of all, John, you put me to shame, okay? I don't want to say anything, but I couldn't follow you. It was very hard to follow you. He is the most down-to-earth, the most righteous man, the most fun, and the best friend that anyone could have. And John, I love you. Thank you so much.
Lisa Specht, everyone.
Yay.
Yeah. Wow. As we introduce the next guest, we want to ask all the reserve officers of the year for Specialized Division to please check in the lobby. This is, again, to help just the logistics of the night. So all those from the Specialized Divisions, it's time to check in, the Reserve Officers of the Year.
Okay, and now it is my pleasure to introduce our next presenter. Dr. Kenji Inaba is a professor of surgery, anesthesia, and emergency medicine at the University of Southern California Keck School of Medicine. He is the vice chair of the Department of Surgery, the program director for general surgery residency. He's also the chief of trauma, the emergency surgery and surgical critical care supervisor at the Los Angeles General Medical Center.
So you can see with all that extra time how he'd be able to be a cop also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when they say, is there a doctor in the house? Yes, there is, ladies and gentlemen. There is a doctor in the house. So and in addition to his role at USC, Dr. Inaba is also a sworn reserve police officer. Of course he is. And the medical director of the Los Angeles Police Department, currently assigned to the Metropolitan Division. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Doctor and Reserve Police Officer Kenji Inaba.
Well, thank you so much for that. It is truly an honor to be here and to be able to introduce my friend Jim McDonnell, who is the other winner of the Twice a Citizen Award. Now, as everyone knows, this is a very special award, and it's given to an individual who has demonstrated a dedication to our city, to our community, to philanthropy, and to law enforcement. In particular, it goes to someone who has truly made a difference and done so in the spirit of this evening for the good of society. Now, Jim, as everybody knows, Chief or Sheriff Jim, began his career with the LAPD, where he served for 29 years, and he held every single rank up to and including the First Assistant Chief of Police. He's worked a wide range of assignments, including homicide, gangs, organized crime, and vice, and was awarded multiple honors, including our Medal of Valor. Now, he's had multiple notable accomplishments during his career, including the development of the framework for community-based policing. This is something that has really made the LAPD a thought leader across our nation. Now, in 2010, he retired from the LAPD to become the Chief of Police for Long Beach, a position that he held until 2014 when he was elected as the 32nd Sheriff of LA County, the largest sheriff's department in the United States. And over his 4-year tenure, as everybody in this room knows, he was able to take the LASD into a brand new era, highlighting the principles of respect, of accountability, and of professionalism. Now, after 40 years of public safety experience serving in a senior leadership role for the 3 largest police agencies in LA County, in 2022, not surprisingly, he was recruited to USC's Price School of Public Policy as the director of the Safe Communities Institute. Now, for over 7 years, the SCI has focused on a wide range of very complex public safety issues, using both research and education to advance public safety strategies, both locally here within the US as well as around the world. And there's no question that under Jim's leadership, with his incredible fund of knowledge, his real-life experience, the SCI is in great hands and really will allow him to impact public safety on a global scale. Now, on a personal note, like many in the room tonight, Jim has had a tremendous impact on my own career. In fact, if it weren't for him, it is very likely that I would not be here tonight. I was fortunate enough to meet him more than a decade ago while caring for a series of our injured LAPD officers. This was very early in my career, and I met him down in the emergency department, and we worked together down there and in the ICU. And he was the first person to introduce me to this whole concept of a reserve police officer. He is truly an incredible individual, one that has really left an enduring impact on policing across this nation. So, as we turn our attention to the screen to see a few comments, please join me in congratulating him on winning this 2024 Twice a Citizen Award. Well done.
Jim McDonald's a legend. I mean, what can I tell you?
I have had a relationship with Jim McDonald for several decades.
Jim McDonald and I go back about 30 plus years.
I know Jim McDonald because 30 years ago I was introduced to a woman who was a key player on his Community Police Advisory Board. And the person who introduced me said, "Don't you marry this woman and take her away." Well, she's been my wife now for 29 years, so sorry, Jim.
And one thing that you immediately were drawn to Jim was that big smile of his. He was always so approachable, and you could just sense that he loved the profession and he wanted to make it better.
I have to classify Jim as definitely a hero. And heroes are defined as those that possess courage, bravery, and probably character. And Jim really typifies all of that.
He was the assistant chief at the Los Angeles Police Department. He then went on to become chief in the Long Beach Police Department. If that wasn't enough, he got elected to sheriff. Now he is the director of the Safe Communities Institute at the University of Southern California. Quite frankly, I think the guy just can't keep a job.
I believe he was an amazing sheriff. He made the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department a better department.
He never asks for any accolades. He is always just there, 100% dedicated, 24/7, and just a fine human being.
A leader, a mentor, an innovator to so many people in so many departments. He's someone that has the most incredible integrity, and he's the same guy today as he was 30 years ago.
You have been nothing but a professional, a true gentleman, an amazing human being who's always wanting to find ways to give to others.
I've seen him show up at funerals to have him care about officers and deputies that were injured. It seems like he was everywhere, and I always used to kid him about, it seems like you're everywhere.
Well, Jim, so much for the so-called retirement. It seems like every time you get retired, you get busier than before. I'm responsible for you now being at USC again, so nice try. You know, we're like the mafia. Every time you get out, we just pull you back in.
So I congratulate you on this very well-earned award, and God bless you and your family.
And for those that may be watching this, don't be fooled by everything I just said, because Jim learned a lot from watching Dragnet, Adam 12, and CSI. Just kidding. Jim, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheriff in Chief Jim McDonald.
Wow, thank you. Kenji, Dr. Inaba, thank you for that, that introduction. He is truly a special man. When you think about, as a kid, you remember back to that G.I. Joe action figure. That's Kenji in the body. Congratulations, Lisa. It's an honor for me to be able to share the stage with you tonight. Thank you so much for that. What a great turnout. It's like a reunion for me to be able to see so many old friends, old partners as well. I looked out, I was sitting, I looked across the room and I saw Jim Miller, which was one of my first training officers right out of the academy, and that's, what, 43 years ago. And you run across people. John Peters is here tonight, an old partner. John Lopi, former sheriff of Siskiyou County. To see you here tonight, John, that was special as well. And you look around and see so much of your life coming together in one place. But thank you to Carla Amundsen, Cheryl Lilico, Mike Sellers, to make this all possible tonight, and so many others who had a hand in making tonight what it is. And to all our service staff who did such a tremendous job, thank you very much as well. I'm joined by my wife, Kathy, tonight, and we're both, as I mentioned, extremely honored to be here. Thank you to all of you, most importantly, the Reserve Corps, the Los Angeles Police Department, and your families, as importantly, who support your efforts to do a job that seems few people want to do today, and even fewer are able to do. I was honored to be asked to accept this award by Carla, but honestly, more surprised. I retired from the LAPD in 2010, 14 years ago, and from policing 5 years ago. I very much appreciate you remembering me, never mind honoring me. I continue to watch every day everything that happens at the LAPD and cheer each and every one of you on as you go about your duties under the most difficult of circumstances. When I look across the stage and I see that badge, and I know for each one of us that badge has tremendous meaning. And I look at the command and staff officers who've come out tonight to support our Reserve Corps. I look at each one of you, our reserve officers, who come and do a very difficult job and do it without asking for much of anything in return. A sincere thank you. I don't know that I've ever seen, we talk about the shine on the badge. I don't know that I've ever seen a badge with glitter and a shine. This is LA, this is Hollywood. Policing is not a job or a position. It is a lifestyle, a way of life. For those who are truly committed, it becomes part of your DNA and the essence of who you are, on duty and off duty. And that sounds corny, but it's true. You never really leave it, your role just changes. The past few years have been very tough on all of you and for everyone who pins on a badge and gets into the arena. You are a target, physically, emotionally, and politically. Your families share that angst and that fear and that frustration as well. So where are we today? I look back at 2020 and I see that it was similar in many ways to what we experienced as a nation in 1968. A time of political upheaval across our nation, a strong public sentiment of anti-police, anti-establishment, anti-war, anti-military, and pro-drug legalization. Thankfully, we didn't have two political assassinations as we did in 1968 that tore our country apart. However, we did have social media, which allowed for a relatively small number of extremists to have an outside voice and ability to shape public perception and attitudes. We have misinformation, or in some cases disinformation, about issues involving the police spread virally and perpetuate a narrative that few tried to clarify. That created recruitment and retention issues in the profession, major morale impacts, officer safety challenges, and left scars that will take a generation to heal. That said, circumstances have always changed. Policing deals with the raw edge of society, where those societal changes are often felt most intensely. Nothing ever stays the same. We adapt, overcome, and continue to move forward. Maybe not the way we would have hoped for, but what we do is too important to too many for us to be able to shut down, retool, or refuse to engage. We don't have a choice. The public, particularly those who are most vulnerable in our society, will not survive without the law of the land being fairly enforced. People who live in our most marginalized communities don't want to defund or disband the police. Those are the voices of activists who don't live in the communities that are most challenged. They want more police, but they want respectful and constitutional policing for their own communities. We all want that very same thing. When I excuse me, when I look out and see all of you and so many others that weren't able to be here tonight in our Reserve Corps, and I heard the comment earlier that the Reserve Corps is undercompensated, and I just laugh because that doesn't begin to describe what the situation is like for all of you. And yet you come forward, you do it because your compensation is in your heart. It's part of who you are, and you do what you do because others are out there and they need you. Thank you for that. I was talking to Dave Bush earlier tonight, and Dave, thank you for being here and for your many years of service to the Reserve Corps. And we talked about over the years having been able to work together, and two of my fondest memories were working with the Reserve Corps as we brought together a whole lot of people, hundreds of officers, almost all of the Reserve Corps, down to Cal State Long Beach for the Special Olympics, to be able to share special moments with athletes and their families, and to be able to show the flag for what policing is really all about. And then also, I remember back in the early 2000s, a friend of mine, Mike Bertram, was a robbery homicide detective, and he later got recruited to become a writer on the show The Closer and Major Crimes. And he did well with that, and he had great stories to be able to tell. But Mike called me one day and he said, "Hey, I got a buddy on the show here, G.W. Bailey, who's an old-time actor, great guy, and he has this charity that he works with called the Sunshine Kids." And he said, they're going to be in L.A. They bring these kids who are, it's like Make-A-Wish, these kids who are often terminal, and they want to give them a last experience to be able to have something to really enjoy. And so they're out here, he said, next week. Is there anything, can you bring a black and white by and maybe turn the siren on for them or whatever? So I thought about it, and we were taxed heavily as far as deployment, but I reached out and talked to Dave and said, hey, we only have a week to pull something off. What do you think? And we ended up with a cadre of reserve officers who came together in full uniform, and they were out there for those kids, and there are probably 40 kids and their parents and some chaperones. And they took these young people, and they were able to put them in black and whites for up at the top floor of the garage at the Universal Hilton, and give them a talk first and tell them about policing. The air unit drove over the top, put the siren on for them, and then they loaded up into police vehicles and went code 3 down the freeway to Hollywood Boulevard and then down to Raleigh Studios where they watched The Closer being filmed. And I'll tell you, that for those families and those young people left a mark that was just so positive. And for anybody else who became aware of that, I think shook their head and said, how do you pull that off? And I don't think risk management was involved in that decision. But it was something that certainly I'll never forget, and I know any of the reserve officers out there, to see the looks on those kids' faces and the smiles and just the satisfaction of being part of something that they had only seen previously on TV. We hear calls for police reform, more training, better screening, stricter rules, body-worn cameras. No other profession has as much scrutiny. Why? Because what we do is so important to our way of life. That's why every second or third TV show and movie are about policing. I say all of that to hopefully provide some context and perspective to the world we're living in. I'd ask you, stay the course. You're doing something very special. My earlier reference to 1968 was to illustrate that we survived what seemed like end times before, and we'll do it again. By 1972, the public was sick of what was going on and demanded more support for policing and for holding people accountable for their actions when they hurt others. The pendulum is swinging back, as is often the case. Hang tough and continue doing the work that makes so much difference in the lives of those who will never be able to thank you for what you did for them. The vast majority of the public supports you and what you represent, and that badge there speaks volumes. Stand tall, thank you, and God bless you all.
Wow. I love that man. I do.
I'm such a fan of Jim McDonnell, you have no idea. He went into that department and he had a real big lift, and he did it. And it's just so great to see you here and hear your remarks, which are so spot on. Jim McDonnell. Yeah.
One quick story.
Yes.
We go way back. So I remember one time I interviewed you. I was a rookie reporter, and everyone was calling you Lou. And I'm like, I thought his name was Jim. I didn't understand the whole Lieutenant, Lou, Boston. But I love this guy. I love this guy. All right, what do we have left?
We're back to recognize the Reserve Officers of the Year for Specialized Division. Chief, if you're ready.
Chief is standing by.
All right. Now it's our pleasure to introduce... Oh, he left. Oh. Sheriff McDonnell, you.
No, there
all
you
right,
go.
Here we go. A coda moment. A coda moment. Now it's our pleasure to introduce you the 10 Reserve Officers of the Year from the Specialized Division. Detective Support describes Officer John Bravakis' contributions to the Threat Management Unit as unwavering. Unwavering support and assistance during critical missions and exercise. Bravakis has devoted full-time hours and more dedicated to an often overlooked task than many, maintaining the integrity and effectiveness of the database. This has saved the unit countless hours, they say, of potential overtime, but has preserved valuable time that would have otherwise been diverted from ongoing cases. Officer Bravakis is a sterling example of the intellectual resources reserves bring to the LAPD. How about a round of applause for John Bravakis? This is a wild story, and it starts with 8 years after Officer Steve Fazio was sworn in as a reserve officer, because Brigitte Kreismanis was murdered in her apartment. And Fazio did not learn of this death until he became a member of the Cold Case Homicide Unit. That case, long cold, was solved due to the vigor of Officer Fazio's investigative prowess. The success is only a fraction of what Steve does for service with active participation in the California Reserve Police Officers Association, and he is a lieutenant with the California State Guard. How about it for this distinguished officer, Officer Fazio? West Traffic Division is proud to nominate Reserve Volunteer David Akazawa for honorably serving in this capacity since the year 2000. David started his service in West Los Angeles working on numerous details. He then transferred to West Traffic Division, where he continues his service working on a variety of missions and assisting detectives. How about it for David Akazawa?
All right. Air Support Division is proud to recognize Stephen Mike Greenwald, who has worked an extraordinary number of hours, not only supporting Air Support Division, but also police recruitment efforts by hosting reserve orientation sessions for civilians interested in the reserve program. Now, Mike is also critical to ASD events like the Southern California Public Safety Aviation Coordination Exercise and also the Chile Fly-In. I don't know a lot about the Chile Fly-In, but if it involves Chile, I'm in. So you and me, a little after. Okay, are we flying anywhere? I'm totally down with that. So yay, Officer Greenwald, yay! The next reserve earned his air support wings in 2005, but this presentation is not for Air Support Division. Since providing valuable support to ASD, Officer John J.T. Apla moved to the Metropolitan Division Mounted Platoon, where he has served for over 16 years. Now, JT is known as a team player by sharing his expertise, equine knowledge, and participates in many of the platoon's deployments, helping with static displays, holiday coverage, and a multitude of additional requests made by the platoon. Congratulations. The next officer does not play a doctor on TV. He is actually the chief of trauma and emergency surgery at the Los Angeles General Medical Center. So another doctor is in the house. And you met him earlier, but how does he relax after all of that stress? By regularly training Metropolitan Division personnel on emergency medical aid and instructing at basic Metro school. But wait, there is still more. Officer Kenji Inabe also assists with search warrant services and other tactical operations, bringing in surgical skill sets to ensure if there's a disaster, officers get the best medical care immediately. Officer Inabe, one more, because this guy multitasks like nobody's business, has also been known to consult with members of the LAPD family on medical matters, and that means the world to us. So, Dr. Inabe, come on, give it up for that guy.
Officer Frank Miocchio is the Information Systems Director of USC Student Health and serves as Vice President of an education and science-based nonprofit. As a reserve officer with Community Safety Partnership Bureau, Miocchio uses his outside experience to bring science to kids in Watts, Boyle Heights, Compton, and Nickerson Gardens. These youth learn about rocketry. They build rockets. In addition, Muccio provides technology that supports youth on their pathway to success. It's a reflection of more than just policing, of participating in the community. How about it for Officer Frank Muccio? Once a leader, always a leader, actually twice a leader. Officer Marcus Stein was the class leader for his Level 3 and Level 2 classes. After graduating Level 1, Marcus was assigned to Pacific Division, but it is for his work at Public Engagement Section that he is being recognized. Officer Stein has taken a leadership role in reserve recruitment by facilitating the bi-weekly reserve orientations required by all prospects. After those meetings, he takes the extra step of mentoring applicants through that process. Officer Marcus Stein. Michael Patriquin retired as a sergeant in training division. That was in 2021. As a reserve officer, he continues with training division to train recruits in deadly force and de-escalation. That's nice, but in 2023, he devoted 460 hours, the majority with the Honor Guard. Mike is assigned to the Employee Assistance Unit, where his primary mission is to conduct ceremonial honors as a uniformed member of the Honor Guard. Mike has attended almost every LAPD line of duty death since he joined the department in 1988. How about it for Michael Patriquin? Attorneys are known for the billable hour. Thank God Officer Dern is not sending the department an invoice for the number of nightly hours he devotes to the firearms training section at Davis Training Facility. It's an assignment that he was recruited for because of his exceptional marksmanship skills, and to ensure his law enforcement knowledge remains relevant, he has worked patrol in Rampart and Devonshire divisions. The calm demeanor necessary of an entertainment lawyer integrates well with the new patience needed in new recruitment firearms instruction. How about it for this distinguished officer? Yeah. And Officer Dern, please remain. You are also receiving the Reserve Officer of the Year honors for specialized units. Congratulations.
Really, congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much for all of your dedication. That's right. Now for our final award, and it's kind of like the Oscar for Best Picture. Oh, we're going to wait one more time. It's another photo op coming on. It's a good-looking group. You know, in the business, they call this the greet and grin. They greeted, they grinned. Feel free to take pictures of other people at your table while we're on this. Oh, okay, I keep going. Okay. All right, they're ahead of schedule. That never happens in an event. Okay, our final award of the evening, and it's sort of like the Oscar for the Best Picture. It is time for the big award of the night to recognize our overall 2023 Reserve Officer of the Year. Now, you have been introduced to 26 truly outstanding Reserve Officers tonight. And from those, the command staff chose 5 Bureau winners that we've all heard from. And now, after reviewing the time commitment, the dedication, and effectiveness on the job, they chose 1 overall winner. Mark, it's your turn to do the honors.
Earlier, we spoke of the skills of this officer. From his time at Davis Training to Rampart and Devonshire, and in between handling hundreds of cases in court for his law firm clients, please welcome back to the podium Reserve Officer Warren Dern. You are the Reserve Officer of the Year for 2023. Please return to the stage, be recognized by the Chief and your peers.
Warren, coming back?
I guess you say something.
Yes,
yeah?
you do get to say something more.
Feel free to work off these notes.
That's right.
Thanks very much. I know it's late, and you know it's an honor to serve the department. It's a great department, and this just means a lot. I did not expect this, as I almost fell down. But thank you very much.
And Warren, we're working to get you that big, shiny, glittery badge, too, to take home. We'll talk to some folks about that. We'll let them get through this photo. Mark, hasn't this been a great night?
Sorry?
Hasn't this been a terrific night?
It's been a terrific night.
I've loved having this time with you.
I've enjoyed it. I'm comfortable among law enforcement. I want to say that. I am. Yes.
All those hours of voicing over cops?
Yeah.
It's in your DNA.
But these are extraordinary people.
You could always join the reserves.
I've thought about it. I'm not good at, like, leaving the patrol car. I'm most comfortable, sort of. But no, seriously, as they finish up the pictures, the cross-section of work that's done, it's not just patrol. It's all the other things we've heard about. It's quite a remarkable group of people. It's really, I'm proud to be here.
Yeah. Well, we're so proud to be here as well. Thank you for sharing our evening. One final thing. First of all, again, congratulations to everyone who was honored and recognized tonight. But we have a very special performance to just wrap things up this evening. It started out our show, and I think it's a perfect time to sort of end our show with that. Can we reintroduce at this moment the wonderful person who sang our national anthem this morning, William Washington, for one more important song.
A little bit more. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll take my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else can see. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. How about you guys? Losing friends and I'm losing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. They say I'm in too deep. Well, it's been 2 years and I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. I still believe. Yes, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. What about you? My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. just like you, reserves, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. God bless you.